Class changes are finally here. What's up guys, Petko here, welcome back for another video. We've been waiting for that for the past 10 days and we're speculating what's gonna get nerfed or buffed, so enjoy the following changes. I believe those are pretty minor, a lot more to come likely in the following weeks. Let's enjoy. Alright, first thing first, we have a Dead Knight on our horizon. They're getting a 6% auto buff only for Blood Decay and Bone Shoot armor increased by 10%. Overall, slightly more armor durability, a little bit more damage. That's not gonna fix the problems in Mythic Plus, however, it's gonna make them a better pickup for raid. Next in line, I told you guys they're gonna do it. They love to buff the fucking chickens. Look at that shit. Just look at that shit. All damage increased by 5%. However, they nerfed Elun's Chosen a little bit, which is gonna come as a mostly net neutral changes for Mythic Plus. There are situations where you are actually gonna feel a little bit buffed depending on how many mobs you're fighting. But for the majority of the time, it's gonna be pretty much net neutral, maybe like slightly positive depending on the situation, or slightly negative depending on the situation. Overall, that's gonna be around 5% buff, however, for raid, because in raid you don't play Elun's Chosen, you're playing Keeper of the Groove. So overall, better for raid, pretty much same thing for M plus so far. I was pretty sleepy, by the way, but when I saw the 5% buff, I was like, oh fuck me, dude, I was gonna rage. But after the Elun's Chosen nerfs, and I'm like, okay, now it's a bit more moderate, you know. Evoker Augmentation Scale Commander Bombardments buff by 25%. So that's pretty good. Augmentation hasn't seen many changes in the past month and a half, so more damage to Scale Commander is good. I think they need a little bit more than that, but you know, walking in a very walking to the right direction pretty much. I'll be happy to see more augmentation nerfs if possible in the near future. Devastation Deep Red got buffed by 20%, and Commander Squadron, which is Scale Commander, which is mostly, you never play Scale Commander anywhere. I think even in raiding, I don't believe there's any situations where you would actually play Scale Commander. Yeah, I think it's fine. They're trying to bring it more up to line with the Flame Shaper. I still think Flame Shaper to be a better choice here. Press Evoker, Deep Red, more damage by 20%, fine. I mean, I feel like everybody is getting that 20% auto buff. Overall, not too big of a changes coming for Evokers here. Beast Mastery Hunter, I told you guys they're gonna do it. Beast Mastery Hunter has been buffed 4% auto buff, more AOE damage, more single target coming for BM Hunter. Dead Blow has been updated as well. Higher chance to get now your higher chance to get pretty much triggered, which is pretty whatever in my opinion. Dark Ranger, however, has been buffed again, and this time has been a significantly buffed. So this has been buffed by like 50% more damage from Phantom Pain, give or take, which is kind of weird. I'm not sure if Dark Ranger now be the play for BM Hunter. I'm not gonna lie, chat. I need to actually go ahead and start simming, because I mean it's 9:50 in the morning. I haven't done my due diligence. This is my blind reaction to all the changes, but this is significant buffs to the Dark Ranger. The Bell Tolls damage increased from 6 to 10%, Dark Ranger Phantom Pain, and also Bleak Powder damage increased by 25% only for BM Hunter. This looks to be significant changes. Question is now Dark Ranger going to be the play for BM Hunter? And we're gonna find out soon enough. Mistweaver, some bug fixes. I expect you to see some Mistweaver tuning. Unfortunately, nothing. Holy Priest has been buffed. Heal by 12%, Halo by 40%, and Archer has been buffed as well. Overall, expected. I think Holy Priest needed a bit more changes for Mythic Plus. I think rate-wise they were already amazing. I don't think they needed any more changes there, but I think they're going to benefit from both right now, so that's fine. And last but not least, Discipline Priest has seen a surge in terms of Atonement Healing. The raid performance has been pretty bad so far, so Atonement getting buffed from 28 to 33% sounds to be pretty good. However, it has been nerfed in Mythic Plus, which I'm not sure if this is gonna come out as a net neutral change for Mythic Plus, or is it gonna be a nerf for Mythic Plus. So the value went from 125 to 100 in Mythic Plus, but then the overall Atonement Healing has been buffed from 28 to 33%. I need to do my due diligence to see, but that's definitely gonna be a raid buff, and for Mythic Plus I am, a question mark so far. Alright, let's talk about the elephant in the room. How is that going to impact the tier list? I'll make a separate video about it tomorrow night. I'm going to update the tier list and let you guys know what's happening, but I do expect to finalize the upper S tier classes, especially with tanks and DPSers. A lot of things are going to change, especially now that we have more gear and more experience playing live servers, so I'm going to make a video about that tomorrow. I don't don't think those changes are too big to make a dramatic changes in how the people are gonna be playing out next week. For example, the only significant change here is gonna be BM Hunter getting decent buffs for Mythic Plus and also a rating. And honestly, other than that, everything else seems to be pretty minor. You know, pretty minor, I guess. Scale Commander bombardments, the buffs are pretty decent. Next question. I made a video 3 days ago about prediction what are they gonna be buffing for Mythic Plus or in general class changes. I've had Hunter buffs, I had Moonkin buffs. I am pretty sad to see there hasn't been any enhanced nerfs. There hasn't been any assassination rogue bug fixes, which is kind of question mark. They've been having them for quite a while now. Apparently there's been some stealth buffs coming for Fury Warrior, by the way. If you guys didn't know, Fury Warrior Discord found out a couple of days ago some kind of hot fixes or whatever, bug fixes, I guess, that made Fury better right now. So keep that in mind. So that technically can cover the Arms Warrior. No. It's mostly for Fury Warrior. Arms Warrior still needs a bit more of ST adjustments, although the AoE part of Arms is actually pretty good. No nerfs for Ellie, which is good. I was thinking we might get to Farsi and nerf on Ellie. Predation Warrior single target hasn't been nerfed so far. Stood the best by far in raid, which again they mostly tune stuff around raid. And Destrolock still no nerfs. Arcane no nerfs, which is kind of question mark right now. But overall tuning, I think, is pretty minor. I do believe a lot more things are to come in a near couple weeks. So keep your eyes open because I believe within the range of 2 to 3 weeks, we should see a lot more changes coming in. The 11.2.5 patch, which is the middle patch, apparently should arrive in October, somewhere in October, maybe the middle of October, or yeah, I think something along that line, which means it gives us a timeline of like around 5 weeks until we get new content coming out to the game, which most likely means there's going to be one more tuning before that. Usually they like to do that before MDI. Keep in mind that MDI dates has not been announced yet. They usually come out after the AWC. If we assume MDI is going to be like end of the month, give or take, or at least time trials, then they should likely tune some classes around Mythic Plus again, starting from the time trials of MDI. So keep your eyes open and make sure to look out for which DPSers needs to actually get adjusted. I do believe that Survival Hunter, for example, needs a little bit more changes, in my opinion, to benefit. Enhance has been forgotten for quite a while, and yeah, there's a lot of things. Outlaw Rogue, for example, ST maybe a bit buff there. I don't know, we'll see, guys. But thank you for watching the video, and I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Tomorrow is gonna be the video about a tier list and what has changed there. So yeah, thank you for watching. I'll see you guys next time, and yeah, see you on stream as well for more testing. Bye for now.